Philadelphia, and we've got Jason. Jason, I really appreciate your patience. I'm glad you held on out there. Hello.
Rush, it's an honor to carry the mantle as the first caller of the day.
In the third hour of the program.
Hey, I want to take a crack at these polls because apart from this New York Times poll, there's some really good information for Romney voters within one of the polls that came out on Monday, which is the political George Washington University poll, which is not a conservative poll. And in that poll, Obama's up 50 to 47 by 3 points, right? Now that looks like a typical, slight lead for Obama poll out there. But then you dig into the numbers, and Romney's winning middle-class voters in that poll by 14 points, 55 to 41. He's up by independents in that poll by 2, married voters by 14, veterans by 20 when Bush only won them by 16. His Hispanic support is up to 40%. And he's actually winning Catholics by 51%.
So,
majority.
Where is Obama ahead by 3? How does that happen?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, if you take these numbers, you look at the underlying numbers in the poll. You take a look at the fact that, Obama's crown achievements have been stimulus and Obamacare. And in this poll, 2/3 of the voters said that they're going to vote economy first, and 57% of those people disapprove of Obama's handling the economy. So I don't get it. I mean, beyond just...
well, but you see, in the New York Times poll today, it's like 53%, I think, say that Obama better suited to handle the economy, and he's up 25 points with women in the New York Times Quinnipiac poll in Ohio. Who believes that?
We only won Ohio by, 2 or 3 points in the 2008 election, and he only won Florida by 1.5 in 2008. So the polls are basically suggesting that Obama is going to quadruple his support in this election.
Which doesn't jibe. I mean, 2010 is the most recent election. How'd Obama do there? How'd the Democrats do in 2010? What the hell has changed? What's gotten better? Where is the evidence to support these assertions in this poll, or any of these polls? It's maddening. I'm just going to tell you this, though, Jason. If these two polls today, the Washington Post poll and New York Times poll, if they're right, it is over. If Romney's down 10 points in Ohio now, I don't know how you overcome it. If that's real, it doesn't look like it possibly can be with their sample. But they're trying to make everybody conclude that it's over. They're all in on this today. Never seen anything like this in my life.
Hey, if I could just say something quick about my kids. You were talking about how this isn't, this is about our kids now. I'm 36 years old. I'm a admitted Rush baby. I used to listen to you in college, and that's actually when I turned Republican. And, I used to look at issues differently then. And now that I'm 36, my wife and I, we have 2 kids. We adopted those kids from China, and it's as if a dad didn't love his kids enough. I have a special sense of protection of them right now because of where they come from. And if these are the polls right now, that's a real sad state of affairs. And anyone who's a Romney voter out there, if they're just sitting on their butt, not donating their time, we got to start getting this thing turned around because it's important.
I know. Here's the deal. I'm going to use my dad in this example again, because I've told you all how my father, up until 1992, just a year before he died at age 72, so up until age 71, he thought he had failed as a father with me. His sole objective, which is the case with every parent, you want your kids to do well. You want them to make something of their lives. It's something that's distinctly American, but I think people around the world have the same human desires in this regard. But in this country, it's something that's been always possible to the point that it was expected. And my dad had his various philosophical beliefs because of the things that he endured when he was young. And those were the formative events, Great Depression, World War II, so forth. And there were certain things you had to do to succeed. And as far as he was concerned, he hadn't convinced me to do them. And he was devastated. He thought I was going to make a total mess of my life. I was destined to fail, and it was not just failing, But he viewed it as that I was squandering one of the best opportunities a human being could have. He simply didn't understand, what I loved and how it worked and so forth. But that's not the point. Point is, every parent's like him. And I think every parent alive today, seeing what's happening to them, every mom and dad who see what's happening to them, have to be asking themselves, what in the world is the future going to be like for my kids? And that becomes one of the most important questions they ask themselves. Parents today are equipped to take care of themselves and if they're lucky in this economy to be able to care for their kids, but at some point the kids have to strike out on their own. And you look at circumstances today, you look at the unemployment, you look at the amount of money that is available for the jobs that do exist, and the potential, it's just not there. It's not what it was, and it's happened almost overnight. Nobody had these fears in 2008. Nobody had these fears in 2004. Not in mass, not like this. You stop and think in 3.5 years, I mean, there have always been parents with a sense of foreboding, but that's been largely because maybe they didn't have faith in their kids, or like my dad didn't think I was doing the right thing. They never thought the country was going to cease to provide opportunity. And in 3.5 years, that has what's become a reality for a lot of parents, that the opportunity, no matter how well a kid prepares, it just isn't going to be there. The future tax rates necessary to pay for all of this debt that's going to have to be dealt with at some point. And knowing I can't intellectually understand that a majority of these people think Obama's the answer to this fear they've got. He's the cause of it. I guess we'll find out.